Hello, this is Manish Patel with IMTF Trade. Today is December 18th, 2018, and we're going to go for our market analysis for the U.S. market. We're going for it today. Reason why is the Fed announcement is tomorrow, and also a lot of people are panicking due to the markets keep on going down for the last couple of weeks. And so we want to kind of get a perspective on what's going on out there. We're not really listening to news or anything. We're just basically going to look at the charts and see exactly where people are putting their money behind their actions, which is really what matters at the end of the day. So let's go through and let's look at the charts. If you remember, we always analyze the markets based on the E-mini S&P 500 futures, and then we also look at the VIX. So we'll definitely look at those two, and we'll also look at the Nasdaq futures too. Reason why is Nasdaq led the market going up, was leading everything when we were basically making all-time highs and stuff like that. So we want to look at that too to kind of see exactly what's going on. Here's a weekly chart for the E-mini S&P 500 futures. Okay, you could see this is a weekly chart. Basically, the bottom of this cloud right here, this was a support here on that particular day right there, that week, which was 2606, held that, then kind of bounced around here, and you could see this is where we've been blogging, which is a support, basically a major critical support here. Never really sat there and broke it, even though this closed below it, didn't follow through at all, and it kind of closed really close to support too, so we don't say that's this follow through at all. So what we're looking for is, last week we actually closed below that support by a lot, and we actually broke this support here too, which we held. That was not a good sign at all, and that's one of the reasons why this week we're falling through and continue to go down. Now this week's not over with, and of course it could sit there and go higher with the Fed decision tomorrow, depending what they say. Not a fundamentalist, but we're basically going to go here and we're going to look at the supports. Now, if you look back here, there's a little spike here. There's a little spike here. There's a little spike here, which is the bottom here. A lot of people looking at that, and you could see we kind of reached that level almost there. I think we missed it by a couple of points if you zoom in. But that was a level that a lot of people looking at, and we're kind of holding that level there. However, it's not a multiple time frame support, which is interesting. Okay. Now what I did was I changed this to basically the hollow candle so you can see the multiple time frame supports. This was the resistance here that basically broke to start the next leg going up. So there's high probability that if it sits there, it could sit there and come down to that level here, because that's a multiple time frame support compared to this being a single time frame support right there. Okay, so there's high probability, believe it or not, to go down to 2468, especially if we sit there and start to go below this level here, which is at 2532. Now, here's the interesting thing here. Let's go look at monthly and quarterly. And here's why I'm going to tell you this. So if we zoom in here, this level is very close to this support right there. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up here. Okay, and that is a major support here for the monthly time frame. And the reason why is if it breaks that support here, which is this green line support here, then we're definitely going to go for a long-term major pullback. If it holds that support on a monthly basis, then we're not going for a major pullback yet, and this bullish trend is going to continue to keep on going up. If you notice here, the last time we closed below that green line there was back here in 2011. Okay, where we closed below it, but we held that support here. But basically, if you notice here, is in theory, the last time we were below that green line was here back in 2009. Okay, and since then we've been above that green line and been holding it going forward. So that's a major support. Here's the interesting part. If you sit there and go to quarterly, which is extreme more long term, okay, that support on the weekly matches the quarterly support there, which is this red line here. And if you notice one thing, we close above that red line back here in 2010, and we've never looked back. This is extremely strong here. I know a lot of people are calling for this market to crash possibly next year, but you're not going to crash as long as you hold this red line here on a support basis. And even after that, you still got to break this green line here. Notice back here in 2008, the whole reason why the markets crashed is because we sat there and below the green line here, which we are so far away from here. Can sit there and happen, but right now we got to look at the support here. But this basically support at 25.3250 is major for a monthly and quarterly view. Okay, so long-term view, we're still bullish. We're just going for an extreme pullback, and you can see here on a quarterly basis, this quarter is being a negative quarter, which is kind of okay, because if you look here, we don't have many red quarters in here at all. Last red quarter we had was basically January of this year. Okay, then we had basically July of 2015, and then you have the little minor one here and so forth, but we really haven't had a red bearish quarter at all, and we're kind of concluding the year doing that. But as long as we hold that support, that's still a very good sign moving forward. Let's go look at the VIX now. Here's VIX. This is an inverse relationship to the stock market. So if the VIX goes up, the stock market goes down. If the VIX goes down, the stock market goes up. In here, we kind of sectionalize everything in two zones. And we've noticed, we've been doing videos at the beginning of the year, talking about these zones here. Okay, you have the bottom zone here, which is basically from 1948 to 1029, and then the top zone between 1948 and 2947. When you're in this bottom zone here, basically means you're above that, below the resistance and going to the support here. That basically means the stock market is bullish. It could be bullish consolidating or bullish trending, depending on where you're at and what the indicators look like. If you're in the top zone here, the market's bearish. You'll ever be bearish consolidating or bearish trending. It depends on everything that's going on. Here, we are bearish trending. And the reason why is that we're above the support here. Let me mark off this support here. Okay. So that's the support there. So as long as that support holds here, we're basically going to be bearish trending to that major resistance level there. If we get below that level here, between that level here and here, then we're basically bearish consolidating. So right now, basically this week, you could see here last week we kind of closed below that level here. This week is kind of critical to see where we close. Right now it looks like it's bullish here where the markets are trending to the resistance level. However, we have to kind of wait to see exactly what's happening. But you could see these multiple time frame supports here that are holding this thing up. As long as these supports here are holding this thing up, this market will be in a bearish trending mode, believe it or not. So we have to sit there and see where we close at the end of the week. If we close below this level here, then we do have a high probability where we could enter a bearish consolidation, which then could turn into a bullish consolidation and eventually turn into a bearish trend. Okay, so we have to kind of see exactly what's going on, but this week is very, very critical. But with these supports here, there's high probability we're still going to continue the bearish trend and more volatility will come into this market to get to that resistance level. Let's go look at the Nasdaq now, which has pretty much been leading the markets since the financial crash. Here's the Nasdaq futures in the weekly. It's a little different from the S&P in that you could see it's not below the cloud at all. Okay, which is a good sign here. So that's actually showing you that it is leading the S&P, believe it or not. And you could see here, we're at the support here on the cloud, the single time frame. But if you look backwards here, this is a major support here for the Nasdaq. So this has been a major support since the beginning of the year, and you could kind of see we've been holding it. And that's a major support here that has to hold by the end of the week. We need to make sure it holds there. If it holds there, then the Nasdaq still would be leading the markets going bullish, and this is just a major pullback here. However, if we sit there and break that support here, then we still can sit there and go down further, and this major pullback could then turn into a consolidation pattern, and depending on where it goes, it could turn into a bearish trend. Let's go look at the monthly to see how far it could go down. Okay, just like the S&P, you're at a critical support. If it breaks it, then it's going to come down to that green line there. Okay, it's not a multiple time frame support right here, so the drawdown could be all the way down to these little black crosses right there. But notice one thing, this support here at 61.41 on the monthly also is the same thing as a quarterly. Okay, which is interesting to see. So both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 from a technical basis are exhibiting the same thing from a monthly and quarterly basis. So it's going to be interesting to see if we get down to that point. If we do, then it holds a support that basically is going to be a sign for maybe we could sit there and go long-term bullish on a lot of opportunities out there. Now, I say long-term because it's monthly and quarterly. Okay, so when you start looking at a monthly chart, you're looking for trends that are going to last anywhere from 1 to 3 years. So you have to take that into account. And you could see from here, from the Nasdaq, you could see when it got above the green line here, you basically was 2009, and you could see it's been going up, 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 up for over 9 years now, and we have yet to sit there and break that red line. And you can see every time we touch that red line, it's been a buying opportunity on a quarterly basis. And that's kind of what we're looking for at this time too, is looking for it to get to that red line of both the Nasdaq and the E-mini. And at that point, it could be some great opportunities to find long-term, extremely long-term, especially on retirement accounts and so forth. If you guys have any questions, you could email us at info@eiicapital.com. Thank you.